Hey, listen to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and MP. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we've got Josh.
Hey.
We are in one of those special weeks. Last weekend was Saturday night's main event, and this coming weekend is the Royal Rumble, so that means we got some results to get through, we got some predictions to get through. Let's start at SNME. Opening match, it was for the Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, and as we had expected, Rhea Ripley walks out with her championship.
Yeah, let's give the ladies props. It was probably just as good, if not better, than the match they had last year in Australia. I think Rhea's obviously the top star um in this era of WWE for the women. Nia Jax is easily the most improved person, and she deserved a title reign. She deserves to be considered like in any storyline that they want to use, because she's everything that they have given her, she's knocked it out of the park since she came back. But a lot of fans still will not give her flowers because her first run was so bad because she hurt so many people.
Yeah, I think both of what you say is spot on there. Rhea Ripley is top 1-2 at the moment, and yeah, you've really got to hand it to Nia Jax, right? If you look at where she came from, and yeah, people are still salty about her first run, but you know she wasn't the best. Let's play it nicely and say she wasn't the best. She goes off, she comes back, and she put in the work, you know? She doesn't improve from where she was to where she is by just doing nothing. And if you're not willing to accept and give props to people who are putting in the work to improve, what is the point? No one's perfect. She may have been catapulted up the card based on her family or any other number of backstage factors, but the point is that she didn't just, get hated on by the internet and walk away. She,
And I want to time out there because there have been numerous people that were second and third generation superstars show up, get a push, fail, and disappear.
yeah,
Um, so so I do want to push back on the
it's fair.
family part because yes, she got her foot in the door by being part of the Anoy family. But once you get that foot in the door, it's up to you to take advantage of that, walking in through that door. And we've seen that multiple times. We've seen that with Cody. Cody got his foot in the door. It got slammed in his face. He went off, became somebody who could battering ram the door down, and he walked through it. And now he's the man. And then we saw the opposite of that with, say, another member of the Noi family, Domino, from back in the day. Did not succeed.
I think as many second generation stars that have succeeded and gone to the stars, you can probably count just as many who did not make it. I think you're
Heck,
right.
even talking about Cody, his old tag team partner, Ted DiBiase Jr. We all thought when they broke up Legacy, DiBiase was going to be the star, and that Cody would fade away. And the opposite came true, and then DiBiase Jr. decided to get himself thrown in jail, and that's a different story altogether.
Yeah. Look, point is, Nia Jax improved immensely. You can't hate on her at this point. I think that's the point we're both talking about in different ways. And to jump on to the next match, Intercontinental Championship was on the line. Braun Breaker, Sheamus, and Sheamus just can't get his hands on this belt.
And at the end of the match, Jesse Ventura was definitely channeling the inner Grady Hooker. With the whole Sheamus got screwed stuff, which wasn't the case, but uh, that was always funny.
Look, the ref counted three.
Yeah. I never saw the hand hit the mat, so I don't think he counted three.
Ventura was closer
But
than we all were, and he thought it was three.
It was a phenomenal match. I said multiple times. I think WrestleMania is the point. If he's going to win the title, I think it's got to be at WrestleMania. But then on Raw, I think I just had my mind changed by a segment. Um, Maybe it'll be a multi-man match, and that can get Sheamus the title at WrestleMania. But I kind of want to see Penta versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. I think that would be an insane match.
Yeah, I think a lot of different combinations are happening, right? You know, you got Penta looking at Braun Breaker, you got Sheamus still trying to finish it, you got Ludwig around there as well. There is probably enough people to pull off a multi-man intercontinental match. I do love a good multi-man intercontinental championship, usually ladder match. So I wouldn't be sad for it, and I think it would highlight quite a lot of that Raw mid card talent. But yeah, it's pretty hard to look past Penta eyeing up the championship, given the momentum that he's on right now, collecting wins like they're Pokemon.
Yep. I I can't say enough about this match. This was a phenomenal match. These two guys are phenomenal talents, and Sheamus brought out the best of Braun, and we have seen like the potential uh for Breaker is off the charts, and Sheamus is just the guy that you can depend on. He is the Dolph Ziggler of this era.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I will jump us along to the next match so we don't run out of time. It was Braun Strowman, it was Jacob Fatu. Technically, here on the results list, Strowman won, but I don't think after seeing the output that you can really say Strowman won.
I was going to say, was it a match? I mean, for about 8 minutes, it was a match. um, it was everything that Jacob fucking needed. Um, the promo that even before coming out to the ring was absolute gold, and basically, you technically can't, he doesn't even hurt Braun because in his position because Jacob just ran him over. Um, in a way that we've never seen anybody do it to Braun Strowman. Um, I don't know where we go from here with these two, but I definitely think they need to keep Braun off TV for a while to sell that. But that that was just nuts. I don't know what else to say. That was like a Braun Strowman version, like his attack on Roman Reigns. That's what it was like.
Yeah, I think it's cemented Fatu. Um, you can say here and be here and be like, oh, it was a star making performance. At this point, this guy's already a bona fide star. We continue to just build and build on a great foundation. And I'm all here for Fatu with the Tongans behind him, which seems to be the direction they're going. And I'd love to see what we're really seeing, which is Jacob Fatu unleashed, right? Tama seems to be able to hold him back a little bit in storyline and tell him when to go and when not to go. And when we've seen him off that leash, when Tama's like, just go mess him up, it's been pretty brutal and it's been pretty good. Our final match from Saturday night's main event. If Sheamus losing was heartbreaking to me, then here we go. Jey Uso, unfortunately, not able to capture that World Heavyweight Championship.
The difference is it was expected.
It's true.
um,
It's still sad.
um, it was a phenomenal match. Gunther and Jay brought it. Um, I will say, I seriously believe they're slowly building towards. Uh, do you remember the run that Sammy had up until he won the NXT Championship, where he would like challenge for it but keep losing,
Vaguely, yeah.
and then eventually he did win it, and that made it a much bigger moment. Um, I think they're building to that with Jay. I don't know when they pull that trigger, but I do think that they're getting him in bigger matches, and they're getting him to like almost win it every time, so that when he does win it, the fans will go absolutely banana. To borrow a phrase from Pat Patterson. Um,
Yeah, it would be very easy to
but
put together like a video package of Jey Uso being like challenging for the title, almost winning, like a near fall, losing, do it again, do it again, do it again. Um, and it's almost like, he might be main event Jey Uso, but can he actually win that main event? And it seems to be something that's elusive to him. And then, yeah, the trigger gets pulled, he picks up the win, and as you say, bananas. Well, we're going to go into our entrance theme this week before we talk about the Royal Rumble on the other side. Our entrance theme is JD McDonough, thanks to his performance on Raw. Got pretty busted up in the middle of the match.
yeah, he had a scary bump with the where he got slammed against the announce table and looked like he whiplashed against the table and had people freaking out that he might have been knocked out and stuff. But he continued on, and it turns out he suffered some broken ribs and a punctured lung, and was able to do all that stuff that he was able to do, and until he collapsed in the walk in once he came through the curtain, and they had to take him to the hospital. So yeah, he's the most underrated wrestler in WWE in my opinion, and when he comes back, give him the IC title.
You heard it here from Josh. We can't give him the title, but what we can give him is a bit of spotlight with his entrance theme playing right about now. And you're back at Wrestling Up on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and MP. I'm Grady. He's Josh. Royal Rumble this weekend. Let's talk about the matches that are on the card. As of the 29th of January, New Zealand time, while we are filming, we'll leave the Rumbles until last. We have a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. DIY have been dodging it, but they are now locked to go against the Motor City Machine Guns.
Man, this is going to be a fun tag team match. And I think it's going to be one of those matches when we get to the end of the year that we might end up considering for a match of the year. I, I, there's so much talent in this ring, and the fact that it's a 2 out of 3 falls match means it's going to get a lot of time. I think DIY retains, but nothing would surprise me. But this, I think, is just going to be an insane match.
Yeah, I think that's its job, right? Is to just be a great showcase for the 4 people in the match. They've got the chemistry, it all works fine, and any outcome's good. And if DIY retain, that's good, that's fine. If Motor City Machine Guns pick up the titles for the second time, that's good, that's fine. It'd be very hard, touch wood, for this match to go bad. So high expectations for this one, regardless of the outcome for me.
I kind of expect one of the falls, the fall that the Motor City Machine Guns get, to probably be a disqualification. Because I think I could easily see Gargano and Ciampa hitting him with chairs or something and getting disqualified. Maybe it being the first fall, so that they would have the advantage on the second fall. Um, I don't know. I just know it's going 3 falls, and it's probably going to be a 20-minute match, maybe 25. I just because this is going to be one of those. This is going to be a pay-per-view that's going to go 3 hours. Um, but and it needs a lot of time for this match, the other title match, and if there's anything left over, then for that. But this is one of those situations where I think they're going to get lots of time, they're going to take advantage of it, and they're going to give us something to remember.
Looking forward to it. And talking about matches that we're looking forward to, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, we had their contract signing on Saturday night's main event. We hoisted both titles above the ring. Shawn Michaels kicks Kevin Owens in the head. And here we are, ladder match, Royal Rumble, undisputed WWE Championship on the line.
Can I say that contract signing went about 90% exactly as we said it would go last week? The 10% that it did not go was the super kick to Kevin Owens, because we expected Cody Rhodes to go through the contract signing table.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I think, going to be a 30-minute match. I think it's going to go it's going to go and go and go. And at the end of the day, Cody's going to retain, and I think it might be through an inadvertent haluva kick. I don't know what's going to happen. But I don't see Kevin Owens walking out with the championship. Again, nothing would surprise me, but I would also say Kevin Owens loves defending wrestling for a world championship at the Royal Rumble. This is the 6th time it's happened.
His pay-per-view, Mr.
He's only
Royal
won
Rumble.
one, by the way.
Okay, it is not his pay-per-view.
And the only reason he won that one was because of Jericho. But yeah, it's fun. I think this is going to be just brutal. I have a feeling both men are going to end up bleeding at some point during the matches. I don't know what else to say. I think this is just going to be a fight.
Yeah, it's a ladder match. Anything can happen. I think you're right. I think Kevin Owens is kind of swirling around this bloodline adjacent versus heels kind of storyline, and so I do see potentially that being his future, while Cody Rhodes can go off and do championships at either Chamber or onwards to WrestleMania, depending who comes out of these Rumble matches as the winner, which we will get onto. And yeah, I think most likely Cody Rhodes walks out if Kevin Owens won the match. I wouldn't be, falling off my chair in shock. But I would be nodding and sort of going, they did that. But yeah, it'll still be a good one. As you say, this is going to be the pay-per-view of Long Boys. 2 Rumbles, 20 to 30 minute title match, 20 to 30 minute 2 out of 3 falls match. Sit in, you're going to be here for the long haul. And we got about 8 minutes left in the show. Let's run down these Rumble matches. First up, Women's Royal Rumble match. We got 10 out of the 30 entrants announced as of recording. Nia Jax, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, and Io Sky.
I've said it multiple times in the run up to this. I have no idea who's going to 90% because they didn't start announcing it until last week, who was going to be in the matches, and just 10% just they've kept their cards to their vest really well this time. There's no real hints. Part of me says Charlotte Flair wins and becomes the first 2-time Rumble winner. But I think it's somebody who you did not mention. As I said, I don't know who wins it. It could be multiple people that get announced on SmackDown and it's one of them. I'm going to stick to my guns and say it's Jordynne Grace. That's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah, you've said that for a couple of weeks now. I figured you were going to stick to it. If I looking purely at the 10 out of 30 entrants that are official and in the match, I think Charlotte Flair probably does stand above them. I think Naomi, Bianca Belair are a little tied up with their own stuff. Bayley, Sky also look to be eyeing each other up. Bayley obviously just coming off a win as well. Ivy Nile ain't going anywhere near the top. Lyra just picked up her mid-card title. Morgan Rodriguez are kind of busy as well. Jax is just coming off of title shots. It would be weird to give it back to her. So out of those 10, it's got to be Charlotte Flair. if you said you've got to pick one of the 10. If I'm expanding it further, as you say, Grace, obviously a top contender. I could also see, depending on what they want to do, you've got potentially a Cargill return. Don't know how long she's off for. Or just, not that Jordan Grace wouldn't be a surprise, but something completely left field that none of us are expecting to set up a match against either Rhea or Tiffany. Be that an NXT call-up or any sort of other return. But yeah, it's up in the air, and I think that's probably going to be the theme when we go to the next one as well. Anything else to say on that women's match before we jump over to the men?
I think whoever wins it probably challenges Tiffany Stratton. I think that's the more likely. Although if Jordan Grace, I want her to face Rhea Ripley. I 100% want her to face Rhea Ripley. I do think if they do the thing that people do not want and give it to Charlotte, it's 1000% Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton.
That is the match.
I don't see there any other choice.
Well, then let's jump over to the men's Royal Rumble match. Got about 4 minutes left. We got 15 out of the 30 entrants announced as of recording. LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, Bron Breakker, and Carmelo Hayes.
I think the winner is somebody you mentioned in these 15.
There was some big hitters in that list.
Yeah, it's definitely not like the women. I'm dropping Jey Uso as my winner.
Oh, you've given up on him.
Yeah, because I think they've tipped their hand a little too much on this one. I think it's Punk. I think Punk wins because they've made way too many references to the fact that he hasn't main event WrestleMania with various wrestlers that have. Especially on Monday night when they had Sammy do it. I think it's going to happen. And then I think at Elimination Chamber Montreal, Seth Rollins is going to win the freaking title. And that's what we're going to get. Seth
what
Rollins
we were meant to get
CM
last
Punk
year
for the world title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the pay-per-view. As much as it was the pay-per-view of Long Boys, it's also the pay-per-view of uncertainty for me. I think there are some good choices. Much like the woman, though, it depends where you think they're all going off to. If Drew and Rollins are heading into that multi-person tag match, Jay is a little weird after just having a shot to pick up the win here. You got some mid-card guys like a Rey Mysterio or an LA Knight or a Shinsuke that I wouldn't necessarily expect to win or win again in Shinsuke's case. And so, your big hitters, John Cena, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. I got to remember that voice in the back of my head that says never bet against Roman Reigns. It has screwed me over many a times.
Except at the Rumble.
Except in Rumbles.
At the Rumble. Yeah. Whoever eliminates him wins the match, though.
So keep an eye out on that.
Yeah, because since he won it, in I think it was 2016, he has finished top 4 6 times, and been eliminated last, I think 4 of those 6 times. And whoever did eliminate him, the 6 guys that did, was the winner of the match. So I think you do need to keep an eye on who does that. And I think it continues. I think it'll be Punk and Reigns as the last 2.
Yeah, I think 3 of your top 4 are going to be Punk, Reigns, and Cena. It all depends what storyline they want to tell with John Cena going into WrestleMania. I've tossed up this pick a million times, and I'm just going to go with John Cena. I could see any of those 3 winning, or a number of men who are not announced for the match just yet. But officially, I'm going to put John Cena down on paper. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Punk. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Roman Reigns did it again for whatever we want to build towards. I wouldn't be surprised if they swerve us and want to do a Rollins or a McIntyre or whatever. It is pretty up in the air.
All right, yeah, and I'm gonna go with a CM Punk's my official pick.
Yep.
My dark horse surprise pick, Sami Zayn.
All
I
right.
I think there is something to the whole accidental Luva kicks, as well as everybody telling him he needs to start being more selfish. He needs to start doing things for himself. What could be a bigger way to do that than to accomplish the near impossible and win the Royal Rumble?
Why not?
I think that would be. I think it would surprise people. It would give them a lot of glee, and I think it would be potential launching point for him towards a world title run. So that's my dark horse. Like, I don't bet on it, but it's like 5% chance or something. But it would be pretty cool.
We will find out this weekend who wins both of those Royal Rumble matches, but for now, we have run out of time. It's been great talking to you.
Bye, B.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/wrestling R&D up, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/wrestling R&D up, or our YouTube page, youtube.com/wrestling RND up. And we will catch you next week.